The Seoul skyline glittered like a jagged crown, its lights into the darkness of the penthouse where Jungkook stood, heart hammering. The city was alive below, but up here, in Tai's world, it felt like they were beyond everything, untouchable, reckless, and doomed. Jungkook's fingers traced the cool glass of the floor-to-ceiling window, his reflection a ghost against the city's bars. He shouldn't be here. He should be at his dorm, studying for finals, pretending to be the innocent good boy everyone thought he was. But his secret Mafia boyfriend Kim Taehyung had called, his voice low and commanding through the phone, and Jungkook had come running like a moth to a flame. The door clicked open, and Jungkook's lips curved into a playful smirk, though he didn't turn. He felt Tae before he saw him, a crackle of energy, like lightning about to strike. The air grew heavy with the scent of leather and Tae's cologne, dark and spiced, wrapping around Jungkook like a promise. "You're late, mister." What's the excuse? Taking over another empire. Charming arrival into submission, Jungkook said, his voice light but laced with a teasing edge. Tae's laugh was low, a velvet rumble that sent shivers down Jungkook's spine. "Charming? Huh? You think I'm charming, baby?" His footsteps were slow, deliberate, each one closing the distance between them. Jungkook's reflection flickered in the glass as Tae's silhouette appeared behind him, a dangerously charming handsome man in a tailored black suit. Jungkook turned, meeting Tae's gaze, and his breath caught. Tae was devastating, shirt unbuttoned just enough to reveal the sharp curve of his collarbone, hair tousled like he'd run his hands through it, and those dark sharp eyes, molten and dangerous, pinning Jungkook in place. A faint scar on his cheek, new since last time, whispered of the life he led, the one Jungkook was only allowed to glimpse. "You're alright. I've seen better," Jungkook teased, tilting his head with a mock shrug. Tae's lips twitched, a slow, predatory smile spreading across his face. Liar. He stepped closer, crowding Jungkook against the window, the cold glass a stark contrast to the heat radiating from Tae's body. "You ran across the city the second I called. Bet you didn't even think twice." Jungkook's cheeks flushed, but he held Tae's gaze, defiant. "Maybe I just wanted to see if you'd beg for my attention this time." Tae chuckled, the sound dark and delicious. "Me? Beg?" Tae's hand lifted, fingers brushing Jungkook's jaw, light as a feather but heavy with intent. "Baby, you're the one trembling." Jungkook's breath hitched, but he leaned into the touch, eyes sparkling with mischief. "Trembling? No, that's just me trying not to laugh at your cheesy lines." Tae's grin widened, and for a moment, the dangerous Mafia leader melted into the man Jungkook had fallen for, the one who could match his easing, who made him feel alive. "Cheesy? And here I thought you liked my poetry. What was it you said last time?" "Tae, you like a storm I can't stop chasing," Jungkook groaned, shoving at Tae's chest, though his hands lingered on the fabric of his suit. "I was drunk, and you know it. Never repeating that. Drunk on me." Tae countered, catching Jungkook's wrists and pinning them gently against the glass. His voice popped, soft but commanding. "Admit it, darling. You're hooked." Jungkook's heart stuttered at the nickname, at the way Tae's gaze softened, even as his touch spark fire. Yeah, maybe. Jungkook whispered, his teasings are cracking. But you're just as bad, Mr. Mafia boss man. You keep calling me back. Tai's expression shifted, something raw flickering in his eyes. Always will, my baby doll, Tai said, and then he kissed Jungkook. The kiss was a warning, crisp and consuming, like Tai was taking a claim he'd never let go. His lips moved with purpose, stealing Jungkook's breath, igniting a fire that burned through every doubt. Jungkook melted into it, hands slipping free to clutch Tai's jacket, pulling him closer. Tai's tease, a slow, sinful dance that left Jungkook dizzy, drowning in the taste of whiskey and deva. Tai's hands were everywhere, touching like sin itself, one sliding to Jungkook's small tiny waist, fingers into his possessive force, the other tangling in his hair, tilting his head to deepen the kiss. Jungkook arched against him, the cold window forgotten, the world reduced to the heat of Tai's body and the way they fit, like two halves of a reckless whole. Daddy. Jungkook cast against his lips. Tai pulled back just enough to look at him, eyes dark with hunger and something deeper, something that made Jungkook's chest ache. Say it again. Tai murmured, thumb brushing Jungkook's swollen lips. Daddy. Jungkook breathed, and it was a surrender, a vow, a truth he couldn't deny. Tai groaned, low and guttural, and kissed him again, more deeper and intense this time, like he was devouring every second. You're gonna ruin me, you little baby doll, Tai whispered against Jungkook's mouth, and Jungkook's heart soared at the rare vulnerability in his voice. Well, I already know my puffballs wants to know how they met, right puffballs? So here is the flashback in short. 6 months ago, Itaewon's neon-lit streets pulse with life, the bass of club music spilling onto the pavement. Jungkook, barely 21, had snuck out of his dorm for a night of rebellion, tired of being the perfect student. He wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble found him. In a dimly lit bar, Jungkook had bumped into a man, tall, sharp-jawed, with eyes that seemed to see straight through him. The man's drink spilled, and Jungkook stammered an apology, expecting a fight. Instead, the stranger smiled, slow and dangerous, and said, "Careful, kiddo. You don't know who you're messing with." That was Chai. Jungkook didn't know then that he was the king of Seoul's underworld, a name whispered in fear. All he knew was the way Tai's dark gaze lingered, the way his deep voice sent a shiver down his spine. They talked, Jungkook easing, Tai matching him quip for quip, their banter sparking like a live wire. "You're too pretty to be out here alone," Tai had said, leaning closer, his fingers brushing Jungkook's wrist. Jungkook had laughed, bold despite the danger he sensed. "And you're too smooth to be trustworthy." By the end of the night, Tai had slipped a card into Jungkook's pocket, his number scrawled in sharp handwriting. "Call me when you're ready to play with fire," he'd said, and Jungkook had, 2 days later, heart racing as he dialed. Their first date was a stolen moment in a rooftop bar. Tai's world of shadows kept at bay as they laughed and teased, Jungkook challenging Tai's arrogance, Tai unraveling Jungkook's walls. But the truth came soon enough. A late-night call, Tai then bruised, confessing who he was. "I'm no good for you," Tai said, but Jungkook had kissed him, listened and afraid, whispering, "Then be bad with me." That was the night they became each other's secret, thus eking Jungkook into his dangerous life. Jungkook diving in head first, addicted to the thrill of loving a man who could burn the world down. At present, Jungkook's head spun as Tae guided him to the plush couch, the city lights casting him in a golden glow. Tae straddled him, a dark angel claiming his throne, and Jungkook's hands found his waist, grounding himself in the solid heat of him. "You remember the first time you kissed me?" Jungkook asked, voice soft, a smile tugging at his lips as he looked up at Tae. Tae's fingers traced Jungkook's jaw, his touch gentle but electric. "How could I forget? You tasted like cherry soda and bad decisions." His lips quirked, teasing. "Still do." Jungkook laughed, the sound bright in the heavy air. "You were the bad decision, Mr. I run the Mafia, but let's make out on a roof now." Tae's grin was wicked. "Best decision I ever made." He leaned down, lips brushing Jungkook's ear, voice a low purr. "You were so nervous, trying to act tough and innocent. Now look at you, stealing my heart like a pro." Jungkook's cheeks burned, but he tilted his head, nipping at Tae's jaw. "Says the guy who can't stop calling me. He's the thief here." Tae's laugh was soft, almost tender, and he captured Jungkook's lips again, the kiss slow and deep, like they had all the time in the world. "You're mine." Tae murmured, the words a promise and a plea. "No one else gets you like this." Jungkook's heart swelled, the weight of those words anchoring him. He knew the danger, Tae's enemies, the on his hands, the life that could swallow them both. But he also knew the man who teased him until he laughed, who kissed him like he was the only thing that mattered, who looked at him like he was worth every risk. "Then don't let me go," Jungkook said, eyes fierce, hands tightening on Tae's waist. Tae's gaze softened, vulnerability breaking through his guarded exterior. "Never," Tae vowed, and the word was a lifeline, sealed with a kiss that felt like salvation and damnation all at once. They lost themselves in each other, touches lingering, kisses burning, the world outside fading to nothing. Tae's hands roamed, sinful and reverent, and Jungkook surrendered to the fire, knowing he'd burn for this man forever. The end.